Okay, Hydra Den is out, and so is an Evolution Chamber. Well, of course, Hydra Den's out. There have been Hydras on the ground for a minute or so. But doesn't look like there's any big push forthcoming from Luxury. So the players are going to go into more of a macro game. Pretty easy to claim expansions on this map early on. There's a little route blocked by some minerals that can be mined out fairly quickly that leads to a base behind your main that's relatively easy to claim if you put some cannons up. And then there's that, well, the base that Luxury's claimed and the corresponding base on Best's side that's at the 8 o'clock position or so. And that's probably the logical next place for Best to go now. And then there's also the 4 o'clock or so base up and to the right of Best's main that he can also claim at some point, and equivalently for Luxury at the 10 o'clock position. Now Best is pressing in with a force of speed lots, and we'll see whether he has upgrades for these. Lots of Hydras, though. I don't think this attack is going to be terribly successful. Drones are being pulled away, but there's, well, I don't know. There's a lot of Zealots there, so they may be able to do some damage to this Hydralist force, but drones blocking very nicely. They're going to keep the Zealots from getting to the Hydras for a little while. Zealots going down very quickly, but Hydras going down too. And this is going to come out about even. They're going to effectively trade armies. I think more Zealots coming in, though. So Best is going to be able to force these Hydras back for now. Best is going to run in. Luxury's looking a little bit nervous. We'll see whether... yeah, Best is going to take down the Spore Colony. There's another colony going up. Best, meanwhile, putting down a third base. So Best is going to try to cap an economic advantage out of this. But +1 attack up for the Hydra, so they're going to be more effective, but there's just not enough of them at this point. Luxury's forced to pull drones, and drones fighting against Zealots is not a winning proposition. Still, more Hydras coming out, and it looks like the Hydras are going to be able to clean up the Zealots for the moment. So some damage done there by Best, and we'll see whether it's enough to let him claim that third base. If he can, he'll definitely be ahead. 3 base to 3 base, especially with some of those drones having gone down earlier, certainly favors the Protoss player. Oh, but losing a Corsair, 2 Corsairs, a little bit unnecessarily by Best there. So, I don't know. We'll see. It's all a question of, well, if these cannons warp in before those Hydras try to push across the bridge, Best should be in good shape. 2 probes being picked off. I don't know if more probes had already been transferred. I don't think so. So it will be difficult to get probes over there with those Hydras having map control at the moment. And Best is going to need to get some Templar out soon to deal with these Hydras, really, when it gets to this point in the game. Oh, now the Hydras are going to push in across the ramp. We'll see whether they're able to take it down. Zealots coming in from the back. I think the Zealots will be able to pincer those Hydras, and this attack will probably fail in the long run, but the cannon's going down very fast. Hydra's backed into a corner now, but they're able to hold this bridge, so they're going to be able to do a lot of damage to the Zealots, and the Zealots are being forced back, so the Hydras actually are going to take down this base. Yeah, Nexus is going to go down very quickly, and there are not enough Zealots to push the Hydras away. Now Storm's finally coming out, just blanketing that bridge with Storms, but the damage has been done by Luxury, so very back and forth game, but Luxury with a smart attack there, taking down that that Nexus. And Best has mopped up the Hydras, but I don't know whether he'll be able to reclaim this base quickly enough. Still, 2 base to 3 is not a horrible position for the Protoss player to be in. So it's not that Best is out of the game yet or anything close. He's got some Dragoons coming out now to supplement this force, and that'll make the Hydras a little bit more accountable, make it harder for them to just micro back. But there's a lot of Hydras now, and I don't think this attack is going to be successful for Best. Good Storms, great Storms going down right in succession there, and he is taking down a lot of Hydras, but more Hydras coming in from the back, and Luxury can just keep pumping Hydras very, very fast. So this force of Best's is going to be pincered, and is probably going to have to fall back pretty soon. Nexus is going down, so Best will have a second chance at claiming that base, and if he can keep his army together enough to have some map control, or at least contest map control from Luxury, then he'll be much better able to protect that base and transfer probes over there and get his economy back up and running. But we'll see. Hydra's in the middle of the map being pushed back. Best does at this point, it looks like, have map control with his army. Not enough of a military advantage to press in and do real damage to Luxury's bases, but enough of a force that he is going to be able to claim this third base. Lurker's now coming out for Luxury, so that'll equalize things a little bit. It'll force Best to switch out of this Zealot heavy build and build some more Dragoons. And probably more Templar too, but with that third gas coming up, Best will be able to afford that. Now there's going to be a battle in the middle as these Hydras press across the bridges. The Zealots are falling back. Well, yeah, Lurker's there, and I don't think Observers are out just yet. There's an Observatory that just went down, but it'll be a second before Best has the ability to push back these Lurkers. Now the Hydras are moving in, and Best is going to have to... Oh, great storms by Best! Best just blanketing the battlefield with storms, but I don't know if he has an Observer out still for those Lurkers, and I don't think he does. So Best's force is just being massacred by Lurkers. Finally an Observer out, and he still does have a bunch of Dragoons there, so he ought to be able to take down this force of Lurkers, but he lost a lot there. He lost tons and tons of Zealots. And just fighting a battle on top of that Lurker field, and that's what Protoss player doesn't want to do, if at all possible. Third base is up for Best now, so he should be pulling into a bit of an economic lead. They're showing how Luxury isn't mining very much from that 3 o'clock expansion. There's something at the top right, and that may be an expansion going down or about to go down for Luxury. And Best is close to mining out his main, so Luxury could even things up economically pretty soon, but I don't know, game's still very close, and one successful attack either way by either player could probably shift it in their favor. Probably about 8 gateways now pumping for Best, and Best has a couple of Observers out, so he should be better able to deal with these Lurkers now. Hydra Force pressing out but being forced back. And Best is setting up to claim a 4th base, so Best is going to macro very aggressively. If he can do that successfully, then he'll be... Oh, Lurker drop! Very, very well-timed Lurker drop there by Luxury. He's going to go in and drop Lurkers in the back, too. First Lurker being cleaned up. I don't know if it took down that many probes. Second Lurker going to be cleaned up as soon as an Observer can get over there. And the Observers are not moving in that direction. Another Observer is there, so Best should be alright. But now a big Hydra Force is pressing out. It's caught a small force here in transition, catching a lot of those Dragoons, and it'll be able to take down those Dragoons in isolation, but Best's main army is back now, and it's going to be able to ward those Hydras off. More storms. Best has been storming very, very nicely all game so far. Another great storm, just taking down so many Hydralists with those storms, and Best is definitely going to come out ahead in this battle. So, we'll see if that 4th Nexus is able to... No, the 4th Nexus is not warping in. He canceled it. I guess because he had to pull his forces over to the right. So Best is not going to claim the huge economic advantage he would have if that base had gone up. But now he's going to press in, and he does have an advantage on the ground now. So he may be able to take out this 3rd base. And if he does, that'll be big, big trouble for Luxury. Moving in now, sending some forces off to attack the base while others take care of this force of Hydras and Lurkers. Hydras and Lurkers are going down. We'll see whether he's able to take down that hatchery at the 3 o'clock before Hydras reinforce in sufficient numbers. Yeah, and the hatchery is going to go down. Hatchery goes down, and oh, Luxury GG's. Luxury realizes he is too far behind with the loss of that base. And that Best had a superior army on the ground. So Luxury wins one against a top SKT Protoss and then loses another to another top SKT Protoss. So Best is going to stay in the match for SKT, and KTF is going to send out someone else to try to take him down. And I'll see you there in Game 3. Hope you enjoyed the game. This has been Hamilcar.